To begin today, write your name and code on your paper, add a little decoration for flair, and then flip over the paper. Then choose the orientation of your drawing, horizontal, side to side, or vertical, up and down. Once you have decided, start drawing your idea with a pencil. You know the awesome thing about pencils? If you don't like what you just drew, you can erase it and try it again. It's amazing! Let's not waste any papers today, friends. Let's draw with a pencil to start so that we can erase those pesky little mistakes. Remember, as the artist, you get to decide what you want in your picture, as long as it's school appropriate, of course. You can get ideas for what to draw from what you see, what you imagine, what you remember, or what you feel. I definitely decided to use my imagination on this one. Remember that since this picture is for art to remember, you need to make sure every part of your drawing is large and in charge. Don't draw tiny. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to see the details on your t-shirt or your magnet or whatever you order. Also, keep really important things away from the edges. When they get printed onto the things that you order, a little bit of the edge might be cut off. Once you are totally in love with your drawing, it's time to turn it into a coloring page for yourself by tracing or outlining the whole thing with a black Sharpie marker. You might even want to make last-minute changes to your design while you're outlining. For example, when I start to trace or outline the steam coming off of my cup of tea, I change the shape of it real quick. Yeah. Once the tracing is done, then you can go back and erase all those pencil mistakes or things that you changed from before. So notice when I erase, I always hold the paper down so that I don't tear it. Anyway, once the tracing and erasing is done, color in your entire paper lightly with colored pencil. The reason we're going to start to color our picture with light pressure or pressing lightly with the pencil is that it helps our hand from getting too tired. Pencil can be very tiring to use. And it also lays down a lovely base of color for our picture that we can then enhance or make better later. By the way, I decided to draw a shadow of the teacup and my cat's little paw sticking out and holding it. And I colored in that shadow with a darker pink than the rest of the table that the tea is on. Darker colors are really the best to use for shadows. Excelente. Looks like I am almost done coloring with light pressure on my whole entire picture. But there's a lot more ways to use a colored pencil than just lightly coloring with it. We're going to talk about 3 different ways to color with colored pencils that will take your masterpiece to a whole other level. The first way to change the way you color is by changing the pressure. Pressing lightly or hard on the pencil changes how dark and saturated the color will be. Coloring with hard pressure is a great way to make things stand out in your picture for emphasis, or to add a little bit of implied form to your picture by creating shadows with hard pressure. Here you can see that my teacup looks more 3D and therefore has implied form after I added the shadow with the hard pressure. The next way to change the way you color is by scumbling, or coloring with a fast, swirly motion. This is a wonderful way to add texture to your drawing. The last way to color in a different way is to do something called hatching. Coloring by using many short lines, either horizontal, side to side, like this, or vertical, up and down, like this. My goodness, drawing all these tiny little lines all over the place is really making my hand tired. So I am going to go ahead and just use a little movie magic trick here to get all of my hatching done for you. I'm sorry, folks, in the classroom right now, you can't use movie magic because you're not in a movie right now. But I'm still going to use it. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. If your hand's really hurting, take a second to stretch it out. Pull it backwards for a few seconds, pull it forward for a few seconds, and shake it out. One extra bonus way to color is to use cross-hatching, coloring with crisscrossed lines. It's kind of like hatching, except first you go one direction, maybe vertical, up and down. And then when you're done with that, you switch directions to horizontal, side to side. This creates a bunch of crisscrossed lines. You know, like hashtags all over the place. Using all of these different ways to color your picture, using different pressure on your paper, using scumbling or swirly coloring, and using hatching and cross-hatching will seriously take your picture to levels you never thought you'd reach in drawing. I really hope you enjoy exploring the many ways to use colored pencil, and I totally can't wait to see what your idea is for your Art to Remember project and how you color it in. I'm so excited. See you later.